Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Everyone likes a comeback.
Oh, I do.
Amy, right?
I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, today we've got 5 possible would-be comebacks that we're going to take a look at. So let's find out who is going to be the next comeback kid in one of our favorite games called Comeback Kid, or who's going to get a comeback, or rank the comebacks. That's also good.
Right. We're very creative here at the Hotline.
Baby got comeback.
Baby got comeback. That's what it is. All right. Now,
on our high-tech ranking board / Velcro slate.
Yes.
Sure. Go
so
for it.
number 1 being the most likely
to have a comeback. We'll start with
number 5. The person that is least likely to come back. I am going to nominate one person and see what you think about this.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to nominate David Paterson. Now, talk is that maybe things will get better. A budget's passed. Albany mess gets sort of cleaned up. David Paterson now is putting his foot down, saying you guys are going to work until you get this thing resolved. I don't care even if you have to work on July 4th. But he kind of reminds me of that thing where you go in and you ordered a steak medium rare.
Yeah.
But then they cook it medium.
I'm following you.
And you can't go back to having it uncooked.
Why is that?
Because it's already been cooked.
Because he's been cooked?
His goose
has been cooked?
I think so. When I looked at the poll today, by the way, about the legislature, how people rated the legislature, not surprisingly, nobody really likes the folks up in Albany. But who do they blame for it?
You know, he still doesn't have a Democratic challenger. Andrew Cuomo has yet to sort of get off the pot, if you will. He still doesn't really have an official Republican challenger. So at this point, he really is still the only man in the race. I think he's maybe not least likely to make a comeback. I'm putting Sarah Palin in that category.
All right, so you can put it. You're going to put her.
Frankly, I thought the whole Dave Letterman controversy was really just sort of a replay of Lipstick on a Pig from the 2008 presidential campaign. Letterman substituting for Barack Obama in the recent scandal. What we have yet to see from Sarah Palin since the day that John McCain announced her as his vice presidential pick is any sort of, and definitely since the end of the campaign when she's sort of been flying solo, is any sort of successful public venture PR effort on her part.
Anything
How about substantive policy discussion or political gambit on her part? Nothing has worked, so I'm really going to put her down at the very bottom. But moving right along.
All right, so number 3, I'm picking Christopher Dodd, United States Senator, up for re-election this year. This guy has been, you can't say he's not working hard.
Can't say it. It's what he does.
It is what he does.
As he told New York Times Gail Collins, hey, it's what I do. I work.
He is, everywhere there's a big positive piece of legislation or issue, he's out in front. Today, notice he is with Barack Obama talking about the new deal with the AARP on prescription benefits, cutting the cost of prescription benefits with pharma.
And that's the benefit, I think, that the Democrats in the majority, did I interrupt you?
No. But I don't know if it's enough.
I don't know if it's enough, but that's the benefit the Democrats in the majority have. They're still popular. They have relatively few vulnerable Democratic senators up in 2010, so they can load up a lot of responsibility, a lot of authority, a lot of popular bills with Chris Dodd. So I think you're right. I think to a large extent.
The question is he medium rare? Or not.
Oh, we're still going with that meat
I'm still going with the cooking thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not people's perceptions of Chris Dodd have already been made, and that the going forward with, look at how much work I'm doing, look how great
I think they're still marinating. I think the views are still marinating.
Interesting.
Now, I'm going to
What are you going to do with number 2?
For number 2, I am going to put, because I don't think, well, I do think that John Ensign, or I'm going to put John Ensign at number 2. I think he makes a comeback. Look, I think that the media, and there was a poll out in Nevada that does show that his numbers have fallen significantly. I think it's a temporary fall. I think he had been very popular. I think that the media tends to be much more focused on sex scandals than the public does, and I think that over time they have very short memories, or else they just don't really care. And he makes a comeback in a state that he's been popular in forever. Does he run for president in 2012? I frankly never thought he was that serious of a contender in the first place. So I don't think that changed the dynamics that much for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think this goes away very quickly unless we find out there really was some very big hiring scandal involving this husband and wife duo. But it looks to me like here's a guy, he feels guilty, he cheats with this guy's wife, he's trying to help him out. Ultimately, the guy wants to have more money on the table. Ensign says no. he goes public, end of story.
Gavin Newsom did the same thing, and he's running for governor in California.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really interesting. All right, and the number one likely comeback story.
A little suspense building. Drum roll, please. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. She is the number one comeback kid, the comeback Kirsten, if you will.
Maybe we should have called it the comeback Kirsten.
That would have been interesting, but then they would have known.
I would have given away.
Look, she started out, I think, as sort of a loser. She was this sort of moderate to conservative Democrat upstate. How was she going to be able to win over the liberal base of the Democratic Party in the New York City area?
Plus appointed by a very unpopular governor.
Appointed by a very unpopular governor, replacing a very popular senator, big shoes to fill. She has fended off, with the help of the White House, several Democratic challengers already, Steve Israel, Carolyn McCarthy, and now standing, potentially running, although not necessarily 100%, Carolyn Maloney, who I think poses a very minimal threat to her in a Democratic primary.
I agree. I mean, I think there's a reason why everybody else got the big treatment. You got Peter King getting offered an ambassadorship to Ireland. You get Steve Israel getting called from the White House, President Obama himself. Carolyn Maloney gets a call from Biden sort of at the last minute as a, whoops, we guess we should have included you.
Now, did she necessarily do it because she did it all the right way? Well, she switched her positions on a number of issues. Sure. She made herself much more appealing to the liberal base of the party, so that's obviously something you have to do to become the number one comeback kid.
All right. Well, we are out of time, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. This was a fun game.
It was. We're going to do it again, and we're going to come up with a better name. Until then, I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Thanks so much for watching Hotline TV.